Hello boys and girls, in this lesson we're going to practice some problems related to area and perimeter. The content objective is to determine the area and perimeter of a rectangle or a composite shape made of rectangles. And the language objective is to explain how you determined the area and perimeter of a rectangle or a composite shape made of rectangles. And the sentence stems we're going to use are the perimeter is blank units, inches, centimeters, feet, meters, and so on. The area is blank square units. That's the difference between the two, remember. Units for perimeter, square units for area. And the last sentence stem is I know because I blank. And that's where you're going to explain what you did to find either one of them. So let's not forget what perimeter and area are. Perimeter is a distance around the outside, the boundaries of a polygon, and the area is the amount of shape inside those boundaries, inside a flat shape. Perimeter is measured in units, and the area is measured in square units. So let's just go right into this problem that is asking us to determine the area and perimeter of the rectangle. We can see that this rectangle is 4 meters wide and 6 meters long. So since we have the width and the length, all we have to do to find the area is multiply. So 4 times 6, 4 meters times 6 meters. Yeah, so the area is going to be 24 square meters. The area of the rectangle is 24 square meters. Now for the perimeter, we have to add all the sides that make the shape. In this case, it's a rectangle, so it's 4 sides. We have 2 lengths and 2 widths. Now here it can be tricky sometimes because we only see 2. And then we may think, oh, I need to only add 4 and 6, but that will be just half of the rectangle. So since I know it's a rectangle, I know that opposite sides are congruent or equal. Therefore, all I had to do is label them 6 and 4. So now I have 2 lengths and 2 widths. All I have to do is add them all. So 6 meters plus 4 meters plus 6 meters plus 4 meters, that makes 20 meters. So the perimeter of the rectangle is 20 meters. So the area of the rectangle is 24 square meters, which represents the amount of squares of 1 meter that fit inside that rectangle. Whereas the perimeter is just the distance it takes to go around that shape, and that is 20 meters. Now let's talk about finding the total area of a composite shape. So and this is going to be our first option. We're going to decompose this shape in 2 rectangles. So this is the first rectangle, we shaped green, and we can see that this rectangle has a length and a width. Therefore, I can determine the area of this rectangle, the green rectangle. So the area of the green rectangle is going to be 3 feet times 2 feet, and that is 6 square feet. Now the remaining area we're going to shade blue, so that's going to be a second rectangle, a blue rectangle, and we do have the width, but we're missing the length. Now let's not get confused with this 5 over here. This 5 is taking some of the green area and some of the blue area. So this 5 cannot be multiplied by 2 to find the area of the blue rectangle. I need to find this length, which is only for the blue rectangle. So this is 5, and I'm going to use the opposite sides relationship. This is 5, and I see that there's a 2 here. So how much do I need to make this 2 a 5? So this should be 3. Opposite side has got to be 3. So now that I know the length and the width of this rectangle, all I have to do is multiply to find the area. So 2 feet times 3 feet, that is 6 squares. So 2 feet times 3 feet is also 6 square feet. As you can see, both rectangles have the same area. Now, I'm not just trying to find the area of each of those rectangles. I'm trying to find the total area. So the total area is found by adding blue and green rectangles, so 6 square feet plus 6 square feet. So the area of the shape is 12 square feet. Okay, now we're going to do a second option, and we're just going to decompose this shape differently. Right, so this is the first rectangle, as you can see, is smaller. And I see that immediately I can see the length of this rectangle, which is 2, but I'm missing the width. Now remember, this 3 over here is the width of this whole side. So, but I'm only looking for the width of this small rectangle here, so it's this over here. Now, as I did with the previous problem, I look at the opposite sides and I see this is a 3 and this is a 2. So the 2 is missing how much? The length of this side over here is 1 foot. So how do I find the area of this green rectangle? Well, you know it. 1 foot times 2 feet equals 2 square feet. Okay? And now I'm going to forget about this green rectangle and I'm going to focus on whatever area is left. I'm going to shade it blue again, and I see that this is 2 feet wide and 5 feet long. Now, forget about this 3 over here. Remember, this 3 is including green area and blue area. It's going to be, this is the width. So the area of this blue rectangle is going to be 2 feet times 5 feet, and that is 10 square feet. And then to find the total area of this shape, we're going to add the 2 areas, and that is 2 square feet plus 10 square feet. And yes, that's exactly right. The area of the shape is 12 square feet. So we got the same result, just decomposing the shape in a different way. So if you decompose a shape into different rectangles, you can find areas separately. Just don't forget to add them at the end to get total area. So what's next? Well, as usual, we're going to practice to show what we know. And please don't forget that math is thinking. So before you even start those problems, just read them thoroughly and make sure you understand them. So I will see you next time. And if you have any questions, just let me know.